What does it mean to work on your marriage? Hey there, I'm Sharon Pope. I help women who are struggling in disconnected marriages get the confidence and clarity they need to know whether they should stay and fix the struggles inside their relationship or if it's time to lovingly release it. If you like what you hear on this channel, I hope you'll subscribe. So today we're talking about what does it mean to work on your marriage? Now, I'm just going to say up front that I always have a weird little irritation with the language of I'm going to work on my marriage because it doesn't sound like much fun. It sort of sounds like the equivalent of eating vegetables. Like I know I should, but I really don't want to. So we could change our language around that, but that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about if you are genuine about working on your marriage, what should that look like? So first, let's talk about what most people do and why it doesn't work. When we say we're working on our marriage, or we say to our partners, we're going to try harder. Here's what it usually looks like. It looks like two people trying to be nice to one another. And it looks like acts of service. So let's talk about the nice thing. Like, we're not going to fight. I'm going to be nicer to this human being that I have said I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. To me, nice is table stakes. Like, if you're not going to be nice to me, I have zero interest in being in a relationship with you, much less being married to you or sharing a bed with you. Like, that to me is like table stakes. If you can't be nice to one another, what are we doing? Because the marriage is in trouble and you say you're going to work on it, acts of service, they're not unloving. They're not going to do any damage, but they're not going to bring you closer together, and they're not going to change your heart, right? Like, someone offering to do the dishes without being asked is not going to make us want to be closer to them or feel any closer to them. So acts of service, typically at the stage where you are seeking out answers, it's not enough. So don't say you're working on your marriage when all you're doing is being nice and maybe doing a little bit more around the house or with the kids or for one another. That's not really getting serious about working on your marriage. So let me take this away from the marriage piece, okay? I was recently on a weight loss program. It's always easy to make references to weight loss. What I did, I needed to lose 30 pounds. So what did I do? I sought out an expert, and then I let them put structure around what that looked like. And then I showed up every single week. So there were two things I had that helped me to lose that weight. I had structure. I had a program that I had to follow, right? I went to this doctor and they said, okay, here's what you're going to eat. Here's what you're not going to eat. Here's how much you're going to eat. Here's how much you're going to drink, like a gallon of liquids a day. So they had a very specific structure around that, which I appreciated. And then I had the accountability because once a week I went in and I got on that scale and it was recorded. So lo and behold, 4 months later, 30 pounds down, feel good, right? I got to my goal and I got there very quickly because of the structure of the program and the accountability. Okay. So that's when you get serious about achieving a goal. You don't just talk about it. You don't just say, oh, I'm working on that. No, what you do is you get serious about it and you have structure around it. You have a program of some sort around it. Now, of course, I have programs to help you come to the stay or go decision. I do, but that's not even what I'm here to talk about. I'm just saying have a program. I don't care if it's structured by me, your therapist, or you, right? Like, you could say, this is what it's going to look like. Like, if I was going to lose weight on my own, I might say, I'm going to give up flour and sugar. I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day, and I'm going to move my body for at least 30 minutes. That's structure. So you can come up with your structure. I'm going to watch a YouTube video every single day on relationships. I'm going to read a new relationship book every month, and I'm going to apply what it is that I'm learning, at least one new thing every single month, and I'm going to focus there. Now, you can get there lots of ways. There are so many paths home. to working on your marriage. It doesn't have to look any one way. But if you want to be successful, I think you need structure. You need some form of structure. And you can use an expert structure or you can create your own. Obviously, one is going to get you there faster than the other. But, we're not talking about speed here necessarily. We're talking about results. And then the other thing that I think you need is accountability. And so obviously, when you're working with a coach or a therapist, it's their job to hold you accountable. But if you're doing it yourself, you need to hold yourself accountable. You can have accountability between one another. Hey, we said we were going to both work on this week. And then at the end of the week, you check in with each other and go, how do you think we did? And let's give ourselves a grade. If we said we were going to be more affectionate with one another, great. A week goes by. How are we doing? Give ourselves a grade. And then you could also, you could have accountability with someone outside your marriage, like your best friend or your mother or something like that. But I actually don't recommend it because then you're bringing someone into the middle of your relationship that doesn't belong there. So that's not the best idea. So if you want to genuinely work on your marriage, don't just I'm going to work on it. I'm going to be nicer. I'm going to do more things. Those are fine. They're fine. They're not going to pull any marriage out of the depths. And it's going to be really, really, really slow going. And by the way, that's the very time that you fall back into your same old patterns. Like how many of us have started a diet and then a month or 2 months later, we're off the diet and we're back eating the way that we were. That's what I'm in now, right? Is not going back to the way that I was eating before. I have to create new habits. So if I didn't have that kind of structure around now creating new habits, I'm going to just fall back into the way I was. And that's how a lot of couples, they might get to the relationship to a place of where it's feeling better. But then a few months later, they're back in the same sort of doldrums and the same way of engaging and interacting with each other because they're not on guard anymore. They're not on good behavior. And they never had the structure and accountability to create lasting change for themselves. Okay. I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, I hope you'll give this video a like. If you like what you hear on this channel, I hope you will subscribe. If you want to see if it makes sense for us to work together and to see if my program can help you work on your marriage to get to a better place much faster, or at least to a place of real clarity to know whether or not the relationship can feel good for both of you, you can look in the comments and there's a way to fill out an application so we can explore it. Okay. I hope that was helpful. If you want to be notified whenever I post a new video, just ring the bell in the upper right corner. And then every time I post a new video, you'll be the first to know about it. Take good care.